Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to make another pair of earrings using our bargain bead box, Violet Glade. Now, these earrings are a lot more intricate than the other ones, and there's no dragonflies in them. They're just straight chandeliers with lots of pretty beads. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, here's our little pile of prettiness here. I am going to divide these up so that we have them half and half here. The chandelier is from my stash. It's a pretty little one. I should have painted that little flower. Didn't think to. But anyway, then we have, don't lose your pins here, Rose. We have 2 eye pins. Per earring. Come on. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I think I didn't get out enough eye pins. Or I should say head pins, because we have 7 and I only have out 12. So we need a couple more, but we'll get those in a minute. And then we have 1 jade per. Look at all these pretties. Now 2 of these will go up on top with these head pins. So we'll and then they'll also have 2 of the little pretties on those. So we can you come back over here. Okay, so now we'll just get these all divided up. There's a iridescent. I think each side uses 3 of the iridescents. So 1, 2, 3. That looks right because we split up perfectly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I remember right, my outer one is going to have 2 of these little guys, as well as a fluorite on it. So let's get 4 little guys here. I think that's only 3. It is 4, and 2 of the fluorites. There's our outer ones done. That's this one and this one. The next one has a fluorite and iridescent and a fluorite. Now, if it's the way I think it is, it's fluorite, iridescent, fluorite, one of these guys, and a teeny. I think that's how I have it. We'll find out here in just a second to see if we have all this stuff. 1, 2, and a teeny for over here, and 1, there it is. fluorites and a teeny. 2 fluorites, teeny over here. Okay, those should be our second ones there. The next one is we want the fluorite, the teal, fluorite teeny, fluorite teeny, rondelle. What's the light pink one here? And then another teeny. Nope, that's not quite right. Rondelle, then a fluorite, and a teal. So let's see if we've got that amount over here. That's not going to work. We have to go with these darker ones here because we need 4 of them. 3 fluorites and a teeny. Okay, that's 2. See if we can get the same amount out. For the second pair over here. One, 2. I think that one of these is supposed to be a teeny rather than a fluorite, because there's not enough to put 3 fluorites with each, but there's too many teenies here, so I think that this is supposed to be a fluorite here too. I mean a teeny there too, like so. So 2 fluorites, 2 and 2 tinies, 2 tinies, and a fluorite back and 2 tinies here. Now we may not have enough time. Oh, we have an extra tiny here. Okay. 2 fluorites, 2 tinies, 2 greens, and the... Yep. Okay, so these are our... next to the middle one. Now I do believe I already put the jade in, and maybe something else left from that. Oh, and the iridescent. So we have you and the iridescent. Fluorite, 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 green, tiny. Okay, there's how we have them set up. So now we just have to put them together. So oh, come on, fluorite, go on this button, this pin. Guess I may have to grab it. Okay. So, come on, sweetie. Okay, fluorite, jade, rondelle, iridescent, fluorite, green, or teal, whatever you want to call it, and the teeny tiny. This is our middle strand. Then we have green, tiny, rondelle, tiny. Come on, fluorite, go on there. Fluorite, green, and again with a fluorite. This is one of the second lines. The other second line, of course, will be exactly like that one. The third line is tiny, rondelle, fluorite, iridescent, and fluorite. Well, if I can find this fluorite's hole. There it is. Okay, that's going to be number 3. And number 4 is going to be the green, 2 tinies, the green, and a fluorite. Come on, fluorite, go on your pin. There we go. And that's the outside line. And now we're going to do the other 3, just the same as these 3, and then they will attach onto our chandelier and hang down. So we need to put these other guys together here. So it's going to be green, tiny, rondelle, tiny, fluorite, green, fluorite. Come on, you. Just gotta find your hole. Come on. So then that one is this next one here. Then we have the other 2 to put together. So that one is again the tiny, the rondelle, the fluorite, come on, fluorite. These guys are being stubborn today. The iridescent, and lastly the last fluorite here. Come back here, you. And then the last row, of course, is our green, 2 tinies, come on, other tiny, the green, and the fluorite. Oh, come on. Where's that little hole? There it is. There it is. Oops. For some reason, this one, there it goes. And that goes right here. Now that we've got those all wound up, we have two choices. We can either put them directly onto our little pin and chandelier part, or we have the choice of putting them on with little jump rings. And I'm thinking it would be easier to put them on with little jump rings because they're going to be close to each other if we try and put them on directly. So we'll probably use little jump rings and just wind them all up. So before we do this, I think I'm going to get out my purple pen and we're going to color the chandeliers. The little flower can be purple. And we'll get the other one out and do the same thing to it. There, one purple flower in the middle. And because, well, we don't want the little purple flower to be the only color we have, we'll get out the green. And we will do these little vines green here. Although, you know what? I just thought I used my lighter green, but the darker green might actually look better with this, with the teal beads. So let's get out the other color and go over the top of this and see if that is closer in color to our beads. I think it might be, yeah, see how it's a little closer in color to the beads. That's going to be pretty up there. Now, these should be sealed. So while I'm winding these up, I'm going to take these and seal them and so they can dry while these are getting wound up. So we're going to do that to all of these guys. Just grab whichever one you want. Go up and over, down, around, bring her over, straighten her up. Up and in, over and around, bring her around, straighten her up. Oops. Okay, it's all right. Put these aside because now we need to do our wrapping. So just grab whichever one you want to start with. Put your pliers in right where they come together here. Go switch sides. Anyway, if you're me, you do. grab your wire with your other and wrap. Cut off your excess wire. And tuck her in. Oop. Now be careful with this one because that little bead is glass. So we just got to finish wrapping these up, but I went out and these are dry now and that look pretty. So this will go like so with all these dangling from. This is this one. So anyway, let's get these last two finished wrapping. So we just grab it here, flip over, get my other set of pliers and wrap. Trim off and tuck that last little bit in. Not quite tucked in yet. So that's this piece. And now the last one. So grab, yep, get out of the way, and wrap. Cut this a little bit off and tuck her in. This one looks like it went just a touch crooked, so we'll straighten it up some. Now that's how it's going to be hooked on all the way down the line there. So we need to get some tiny jump rings. I forgot to get any out to put these together. And we will get out 7 for this, and we might as well get the other side out while we're at it. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 for this side. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for that side. So we'll just start opening up these jump rings and put our pieces on to our chandelier. Just going right down the line. So we open our jump ring up with a twisting motion, slide it through with the ring, bring it up, and then bring it back with the same twisting motion. Come on, chandelier, you're getting in the way. Beginning to think I should have went from side to side. 1, 2, 3, 4, because the weight is pulling it all to that side when I'm trying to hook these on. See how that's push that up there? But I think that's all right because I think that went into the groove just perfect to let it open right. Stop twisting up, you guys. Now for the very last one here. And there is our dangles on our chandelier done. Now the next step is we got to put these wires up here, and they'll go on crisscross, go on either side to hold our chandelier up. Now we can do this one of two ways. We can jump ring it to here, or we can just open up our loops and just put it on that way. I think we'll try it that way. So we will just open our loops up here. And slide our chandelier on. Close her up. This just broke. Okay, we need a new one. That's fine, we've got them. And this one's going to break too, I can feel it. Wow. Well, that's fixed, easily fixed. I have more. And that's a good thing, because obviously she wants to break. And frankly, a lot of times I make my own eye pins anyway, so if these don't want to behave, I can just make my own. This one has a kink in it, but it's probably beyond where we're gonna finish anyway, so it's not a big deal. Close this back up. Beginning to think maybe I should have used jump rings. So anyway, you behave. Come here. So then these are going to come up like so, and then they're not going to crisscross because I'm going to end them before that. But then we'll just put these green and two littles, and then the next green. So they're going to go like so. And we will make a loop up here at the top to hold these. So get your little looper out, over and around, down, over, and straighten her up. Grab with your pliers, switch hands, and then wrap. Now this wire, the new wire I got, is a little more malleable than the original one. This one over here, so I can actually do this one by hand. And I think that's where we're going to cut, because this is a glass one at the top, and we don't want to break it if at all possible. Okay, so there's our first one. Now we'll do the same on the other one here. Now see, I think this one is a steel one, whereas that other one was not steel. It bends a lot harder, and it's not as cooperative. So it's going to have to be wrapped by the pliers. And I'm going to use my other cutters for this one as well, because if it is steel, it can damage your flush cutters. So I'd just as soon be careful and not do that. Come on, baby. I'm trying to be really careful because I don't want to break this glass bead up at the top. And consequently, I'm thinking I might try to get in here just a little bit tighter here. Here's how she looks. And I think I should have had those loops going the other direction, so we'll see about turning them some. Better to get hold here. Did you turn? Not very well. There we go. That turned better. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this last remaining little jump ring I have here. Actually, I have two. Don't know why I have two. And we're going to put it through both these loops. And then through our ear wire. Now this has a definite front or back, so watch your ear wire here, because our chandelier has to be going the right way. So there it is, really long. This is a long earring. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you don't like a long earring, you're going to want to do something different for this. This is got a drop of 3.5 inches, so it's quite long. So this one is done though. So let's get our pieces together and get going on the other one. So here is our chandelier, and this is the top pieces up here. I've already got those out of the way. Here's our wires, and here's our beads we need. So let's get started making our little dangles. Well, they end up being long dangles by the time they're done, but that's fine. That's what we want. Come here, Jade. Come here, you. There we go. That one's good. Now we've got to get this other one going, but we're going to have to get some more fluorite because these two didn't want to go on our wire. Okay. Now I'm wondering if I missed something because I seem to have an extra little tiny one in there. Though maybe I got an extra one out when I dropped one the other day. So now we just got to wind these guys all up and get them attached to our chandelier. So let's get out our bell making plier, and we're going to use the smallest. Go up and around, drop it down, come around, and straighten her into a lollipop. There's one. And it doesn't matter what order you do these in, just grab one and get her done. And now it's time to wind them all up. So we'll get our pliers, grab one of these, grab it here, turn it around, and start wrapping. Now I noticed I've got one going down just a hair's breadth, so we're going to squish that back up into place some. And around. And again. So I think we're good to go here. Trim this off. Tuck her in. It's not quite tucked all the way, so we'll get that last little bit, being careful not to over squeeze, because even though this top one is a stone, the bottom one down here is glass, and it could crack across that. So there's that one. Here's the other side. Now if you wanted, while you finished your wrap, you could just hook it straight on instead of wait until you got more done. I usually just do them all at once and then hook them on, but like I say, you can do them right as you finished them, wrapping them if you wanted to. Just hook them straight onto the chandelier. If you were hardwiring them on, that's exactly, of course, what you would be doing, because that's where your wrap would be at. Would be right there at as you went on. Now this one I got turned a little bit, see here at the top, so just put your pliers in there and just pull her around a little bit. See? Next. Now, one thing I didn't mention when I was telling you this is that this wire being pointed up is actually a good thing, because then when you bring that first wrap around, it's right there at the beginning, see? If it was pointing downwards, 9 times out of 10, it would not wrap at the top. It would come down onto your lead wire and it would go sideways sort of here, which can be really frustrating. So I always try to make sure I tuck my wire tail up towards the top before I start spinning it. See, that one is on this side. So see how that one is tipped up there? That's good. That'll keep you from going down on your base wire. And this is chipped a little, so we're going to have to fix that after we finish wrapping. And that's one of the reasons it keeps wanting to slide out of my pliers, is because it's not quite even. Be careful with our tuck here. You'll notice I've got my pliers sort of turned at a slight angle so that it's more to the wires up above than to the stone. Now see what I mean about how it's the oval, the round part is turned? So you need to take it like here and just twist it over on its side some. Now, sometimes when that happens, it will also bring your wires up a little bit. You got to watch for that. There we go. Turn that in. Get hold of our extra wire and wrap. Now, I was realizing something. I think I may have cracked that little top bead. Yes, I did. So we're going to cut this loose and replace this little top bead. But if you can see right there, see how there's a little, I cracked that when I was playing with it there. So we're going to cut this loose, get a new wire, and restring it with a new bead. And there's one right in the tray, so hey, no problem. So, new wire. There's a new wire. And I'm just going to cut this loose right up here at the top. And I don't even have to be really careful because I already broke that bead. So, see? No, it's so tiny that it's probably hard to see where I broke it at, but see, it's right here. Can you see that break right there? Tiny little break on the side of this bead. And probably no one else would have noticed it, but it would have bothered me forever, so. So there's no sense in letting myself be bothered forever, and when I can just replace it. So we'll just restring these babies just the way they were, except for with a different bead at the top. And then we'll have to be very careful not to break the bead again. Come on, I saw your hole there. Bing. So we'll make sure we got the pattern all correct before we wrap it up. And we do so. Go back down where you belong. You don't want to get broke like your buddy did. Now we want to be careful of that little glass bead as we wrap here. Actually, I think I broke it when I was tucking it. And that's what you have to be really careful of doing because it's so easy to do. I don't do it often, but I do it sometimes, which I find really upsetting because I've done enough wire wraps by now to be extra careful with the wraps. And the little tiny beads. Get out of the way. Okay, there we go. This time we did not break our bead. So let's get our jump rings out here and start putting her together. And this time I'm going to start in the middle with this one we just finished and go from side to side since that one had a weight problem when I was doing it before. We'll see how easy, if this is easier going from the middle and then going from side to side afterwards. Well, it looks like it's not making that much difference. She's still falling down into that loopy spot. Oh, they're over here. I was going to say, where the heck did the rest of them go? Okay, so the bottom portion is all put together now. When you And now we get to start on the top. So we'll get these on. Now, if you didn't want to do this little beaded portion up here at the top, you could actually just use some chain links to go up, to grab up to the your ear wire, and that would make it, well, depending on how long you made your chain, it could make it shorter if the length is something that you don't really like. Well, anything could be made shorter just by not adding as much stuff. Like my pattern here in my beads, you could do it with, you know, just a couple of little beads instead of a whole bunch like I've got here. Say you could do like just this much, and then, you know, cut the length down of everything as it goes down the line until you got a pattern that you preferred. So now, since we don't want to have to turn the ends again, let's get this the right way, and that's this way, since we're going to hook onto the jump ring through it. So of course we do this just the same way as any wrapped loop. It's just that it's attached, and you have to watch for the beads down below, because they're going to try and get in your way. And I suppose you could do this part prior to putting on the bottom part. No reason why you couldn't. Okay, now we need to do our second one. That looks like it might be a teeny touch crooked, so we'll straighten her up some. She looks like she's going back. There we go, that's better. So now we put the second one on. Well, after we straighten this wire a little bit, it's quite a bit crooked. But open up our eye just like we would a head jump ring, and then close it back up same way. Okay, now we put on our beads. Green, 2 tinies. Come here, tinies. And our last green. And again, like we say, we want to have it facing this direction. So we want to bend it here. Put in our pliers, whether it be bell makers like I always use or round nose. Bring it up, straighten her up. Take our pliers, grab our loop, turn, bring this first wrap around. And it wanted to go a tiny touch low, so I'm going to push it up some. Then we're going to carefully wrap around all of our dangles down there. And I should have held that, but I didn't, so Now I want to be very careful here because all the beads on this little strand are glass, and we don't want to break them. Okay, final step. Hooking these babies together. And this one looks like it went out of whack a bit. It looks like it's a little bit turned, so we're going to straighten that. And because I used the easier, more malleable wire on these, both of these, I can adjust these a little easier than I could with that one that had the steel pin, which is very strange that it broke considering it was steel. Steel usually doesn't break as easily as the other metals, so it's obviously a little bit brittle. So open this up, grab our two legs here. Make sure we're turning this the right way, since this is this way. Put it on. And turn. And there we go. She's finished. Oop, come on, babies. There we go. Our really pretty, but yes, very long earrings. I think these turned out gorgeously, though. Look at the shimmer and shine. They're very pretty. So there we go. This is our wonderful set of chandelier dangles from our Bargain Bead Box Violet Glade. So I think these turned out gorgeously. This is our earrings from our Bargain Bead Box Violet Glade. See, like I say, they are quite long. Definitely shoulder dusters, but oh, so pretty. So, I hope you enjoyed making these with me. Aren't they stunning? This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and again, we were using the Violet Glade bundle by Bargain Bead Box. So pretty. I love these earrings. Well, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.